Hi everyone, welcome to Math Wizards 123. Let's see, today's live stream we are going to practice multiplying mixed numbers. So we're working with fractions today. Let me just check out who's with me so far. If you want to, you can just go ahead and tell me your first name once you're signed in. So that way we can see who's working together with us. Okay, hi. I think that's Emmanuel and Lexi. Hi, Lexi. There's Max. Hi, Max. Good to see you again. Long time no see. All right, and then Chris and Carlos. You must be together after school there still, right? At the Boys and Girls Club. All right, guys. So if you want to grab a pencil and a piece of paper, we're going to take a look at this problem first. And, oh, you're at your house together. Okay, awesome. And Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. We're just going to try multiplying these two fractions. One of the fractions is a mixed number, so we're going to check out what the steps are that we need to do to take care of that. But let's just imagine that you have 1 2/4 of another pie. And so this is what was left over at the end of a Thanksgiving meal, and we want to find out what is 2/3. What if we were going to take 2/3 of what was left over and pull that aside and save it in the refrigerator for the next day and then leave some on the table for whoever wants more. So this problem reads 2/3 of 1 2/4. So 2/3 of the 1 pie and 2/4 of another pie. How much will that be? Well, we know it's going to be less than what we see here because we're going to take away there's not a whole number here. We're looking at a fraction of what's on the table. So the first step is just to keep the first fraction the same. This is telling how much that we're going to pull off the table. And then the word of means the same thing as multiply. No paper, huh? Okay, well you can just type in your ideas as you're watching me, and I'll do all the writing. Max has paper. Maybe you can borrow some from Max. I don't know if you can pass that along through a live stream. Let's see. Anyway, let me get over here. So now when I'm looking at the mixed number, what should I do here? So we have 1 2/4. I know that I want to get to the point where I can just multiply across the numerators and the denominators on the bottom. But right now, the way this is set up, it won't work. So what should I do right here so that I can rewrite this mixed number so it's just a simple fraction with a numerator on the top and a denominator on the bottom? Good job, Max. You got to 6/4. So how do we get to 6/4? We take the number of pieces it takes to make a whole pie, and then we multiply that by this number here. That makes 4. And then we add the 2 extra slices over here. So we're just rewriting this. This is the same thing as 1 2/4. And now that it's set up this way, where we have 2 numerators and 2 denominators, we could go ahead and multiply across. But before we do that, we could probably reduce a couple of these pairs of numbers. What do you think? Some people call this cross-canceling. But if I pair the numerator over here with the denominator down there, I can think about how they could be reduced. If you need to, you can put them in the ladder. This is where the ladder comes in handy. And we can think about what number could I divide both of these numbers by. So if I take a 3, good job, I see a 3 there. 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. And then we don't have any more numbers other than 1. We can divide these by. So the 3 can be reduced to a 1, and the 6 can be reduced to a 2. Now, if you can do this in your head, that's great. Let me keep it in red here. The 3 reduces to a 1, and the 6 reduces to a 2 right here. So I'm going to cross that out. Is there anything else that you see that I can reduce? Look at the other pair of numbers. 1/2 Okay, we have 2 and 4. I know these are both even, so I could divide them both by a 2. Okay, so I see a 2 and a 4. If you need to, again, you can put them in the ladder, but if you can do it in your head, I'm going to pop it in the ladder down here. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 makes the 4. And then we're done, 1 and done. So the 2 can reduce to a 1, so that reduces that, and the 4 can reduce to a 2. So now we have lower numbers that we can move across and multiply. So what is 1 times the 2? So I'm just moving across the top here. My numerators, 1 times 2. And then we have the 1 times 2 again. And we wound up with the same thing, didn't we? And then what's another way to write that? If you see 2 over 2. 2 over 2. Good job, Max. How else could I write this in a simpler way? Okay, good job, Emmanuel. This also reduces, you can simplify the answer by writing it as a 1. Okay, now let me just show you up here in the picture. This just means that if we're taking 2/3 of all of this, 1 and 2/4 of another pizza, it means that we split what's on the table into 3 equal groups. Here's one group, here's the second group, and here's the third equal group. Now if I pull 2 of those groups off the table, 1, 2, I just took a whole pie off the table to put in the refrigerator. And then what's left is the 2/4 over here. All right, good job, guys. I see a lot of 1s out there. Nice work. So if you would like, we can try another one here. And since it's close to Halloween, you can maybe think about some candy. Maybe these are licorice sticks. Maybe it's a candy bar. But let's say we had 2 and 2/5. So there's, we have 4 students, right? And each student is having 2 and 2/5. So I'm looking at another candy bar here, but there's only 2/5. So that represents the fraction right here. So the word of just means the same thing as multiply. So if I have 4 of these, or 4 of these groups, I'm trying to think, how much would I have all together? Well, I already know that 4 times 2 would make 8 of these whole licorice sticks, but I have to figure out what would 4 groups of the 2/5 be. How much would that be all together? And then how much would we have at the end? So I'm just going to take this and put the multiplication in place of the word of here, and then this is being multiplied by 2 and 2/5. So we're going to follow the same steps to multiply, but when I look at this, this is a whole number, and then over here I have a mixed number. What I want to have is I want to have 2 nice fractions with a numerator on the top and a denominator on the bottom. So how could I turn the 4 into a fraction? Does anybody know how to rewrite that into a fraction? 4 over 1, I see that one time. Does anybody else agree with that? Can I take whole pieces and use the 1 as a denominator to show that they're a whole piece? Okay, good job. I see it twice now, 3 times. So here we go, 4 over 1. So I'm rewriting this so that way I can get ready at the end to just move across and do my multiplying. But the 2 and 2/5, I need to do something here. I like to just draw the arrows and then put my symbols in, so that helps me remember where to go. So how could I rewrite 2 and 2/5? In other words, how many fifths would there be if I broke these 2 pieces into fifths and then I add the extras? How many would there be? I see a 12/5 so far. Good job, Max. That was quick. Did you do that in your head? I see 12/5 again, another 12/5. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more does make 12. Good job, you guys. Okay. And so when I'm looking at these, I don't think I can reduce those because this is already a 1 down here. And a 4 and a 5, if I put that in the ladder, I don't think there's any numbers that I could do. Okay, let's Can you see? Can you see me now? I'm going to just give it a second so you guys can see me. Whoa, that's looking a little blurry. What happened? Okay, I think we're good now. Are we back on? Okay, guys. Here we go. Thumbs up if you're with me. I see one thumb. Okay, good job. So now again, we're just going to move across the numerators and the denominators and multiply. So 4 times 12. Who knows their 12s? Okay, I see 48 twice. I'm going to pop that here. And then 1 times 5. We know that's a 5. Now, are we going to leave it like this? Should we leave it as 48 over 5? Or should we check to see if our final answer is improper? Oh, you guys are cracking me up here. Okay, so it is improper. So the top number on the top is greater than the denominator. So that means I can go ahead and put this in the doghouse and do my division. What do you think? How many times does 5 go into 48? What number should I put up top? Good job, Lexi. It is improper. Okay, awesome. I see a couple 9s. So 5 times 9 is 45. So then when I subtract, I'm going to, I like to just draw this to get ready to bring my extras up here. So these are my extras. These are still fifths. That never changes. And then we have 9 and 3 fifths. Does everyone have the same answer when you're finished dividing? I see 9 and 3 fifths twice so far. Yep. Okay, so I'll take that as a yes 3 times. Okay, 9 and 3 fifths it is. So we can try, we have time to try one more. Let's see here. So this time, because it was a whole number, our answer was bigger than what we started with the 2 and 2 fifths, right? If this number in front of the multiplication symbol is a fraction, then our answer is going to be less than what we see here. But let's take a look and see what happens when we have, what if we start with 2 1/2 of a group of, let's say, 7/10. So if I have 7/10 on the table and I want to make 2 1/2 of that, that means I'm going to be making 2 groups of that plus another half a group of that. So I know my answer has to be larger than 7/10 at the end, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to just come underneath here. Let's rewrite this mixed number. What do you think that 2 1/2, when you rewrite it as an improper fraction, what would that look like? 5 halves times 7/10. So let's check that out. If I multiply and then add the extras, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more. That makes sense. 5 halves. And then we turn the word of, means the same thing as multiplying. And then we pull down to 7/10. That's already written the way we need it so that we can multiply across. And now let's take a look and see if you can reduce anything. Are there any number pairs that you can reduce? Good job, Lexi. I see 5 halves. That's right here. Wow, Max came to the final answer already. You're speedy. Good for you. Let's see if we can catch up with Max. I'm going to pair these really quick. 5 and 10, if you pop those in the ladder, then I can divide both of these numbers by a 5. So 5 divided by 5 would be 1. The 10 divided by 5 would be 2. And then if I look at these two numbers, those cannot be reduced. So now we're ready to multiply across. So 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. But we have to figure out how Max got to the answer of 1 3/4. How did he get to 1 3/4? What should I do next? Okay, we have another 1 3/4. But how did you get there from 7/4? What should I do next right here? Divide. Okay, so we're checking to see if it's improper and this value is higher or greater than the denominator. We can put this in the doghouse. So 1 times 4, and then we have the 3 left over. And these are still fourths. All right? Doghouse. All right, guys. And that, we're going to end this stream here. You did a great job. You're going to be helping a lot of other students once they see this video on using the steps to multiply mixed numbers. So great job. Tune in again next week, and we'll see. We still have a couple weeks left in October, so we're waiting to see if that hat pops out. Then you'll know that all your names will be going into the next raffle. So that is coming very soon. So go ahead and wave a quick Give a quick emoji to your friends before we tune out here. Whoa. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time, next Wednesday at 4. Bye, Carlos. Bye, Lexi. Bye, Max. Bye, Manuel. Bye, everybody.